Get ready. And you're on.
Good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm so excited to have Sue and Barbara here from the Saint Foundation, really about saving animals and needing people's help and time to get involved, right?
Right.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about who you are and, the why behind it.
Okay, my name is Barbara Houston, and I'm on the board of Saint. I'm the marketing and PR person. And I got involved with Saint a while back through actually Sue. And she would come in and ask for donations, and I was always happy to give for the animals because they need a lot of money. They do a lot of good work, and we're going to touch base on all that today.
Yes, we are. Sue, tell us a little bit about you and how you got started in all of this.
My name is Sue DeMarco. I am one of the co-founders of S.A.I.N.T, and that's 14 years now on board in our community of Bullhead. I'm very proud to say that I am still active as of now. And also, I want to say the reason I started with Saint was with Jean Brooks. She's also a founder. Was when I was working at our shelter here in Bullhead City, and I saw the great need the help that the animals needed, not just our shelter, but out there was so many coming in, and some of those that didn't stick around, so to speak.
Yeah.
So we don't want to see full shelters, so that's why we're so serious about spay and neuter. That's one of our first and most important missions.
And you guys even offer help in that aspect.
Yes, we do. Yes, we have a voucher program, and we help with the spay and neuter by paying a small portion of that. We usually send our clients out to low-cost clinic in Kingman because they're a little more affordable than the veterinarians here in our community. And that's why a lot of people aren't making that trip out there to Kingman. So we hope to get somebody to partner up with us and help with that spay and neuter cost.
Yes. So I think we should maybe just get right into our Bailey. I feel like she's a great story and kind of, very close to your heart.
Yeah, I love Bailey. She's so quirky, and she has a great personality. We're not really sure of her whole previous story before we got her, as is the case with a lot of our dogs that we
Jeff, do you
help.
want to pull up picture number 1? There
That's
she
Bailey.
is.
So we think she might have been thrown from a car. She had a rear leg injury, a broken jaw, and some head trauma. And you can see her tongue hanging out of her mouth. And she's extra slobbery, too. So, I mean, people, that's kind of a turn off for some people. But you can just see her eyes. She's so adorable and funny. She's with a foster now. She's been with the foster for 2 years. It's really necessary now for her to move on to her forever home. It's hard to place special needs dogs.
Yeah.
So she also she has nightmares. She has PTSD. She has anxiety issues. It's hard to take her out places where there's a lot of noise, a lot of other dogs, a lot of people. So she's really needs a quiet place, a quiet home, and somebody who doesn't mind that tongue of hers. So she's so adorable. But we have reached out. One thing that we do is we reach out to rescues across the nation, and we've reached out to a rescue in Idaho for special needs dogs, and we've sent her story to them, and hopefully we'll hear back from them. If a rescue decides to take one of our dogs, we also we transport the dogs, so we keep them all nice and safe. We've transported them hundreds of miles and taken them to the rescue. We also will be intercepted by another rescue, so we'll take them like to Winslow, Arizona, and another rescue will transport them like the rest of their journey.
So you guys really don't just focus here. It's really nationwide, depending on how you guys all work together and trying to save animals.
Well, we've rescued dogs out of our shelter and taken them to rescues outside of the state. So anything to help with them. We're in it.
And it doesn't just stop with dogs, right? There's
Cats.
And we do cats as well. We found, we were notified of a kitten in December at Rotary Park. It was found outside the restroom, and it was inside a duffel bag that was stapled shut. And inside the duffel bag was a cardboard box that was taped up, and inside the box was a little kitten.
Oh.
Rocket.
It's terrible.
So little Rocket had to have lots of surgery, so we had to pay for that, thousands of dollars. And he's being rehabilitated right now, and maybe one day he'll be ready to be adopted out as well.
Adopted out in a forever home.
Right, forever home.
Oh,
FUR for fur, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and again, that really goes back to funding and volunteering and really having the foster homes. So much goes into this. Can
Right.
we talk a little bit about that? Maybe I know that you had the story when we went to see you about the original dog that's so close to your heart. And
Was
kind
that
of-
Hope?
The dog, the euthanized dog, the dog in
Oh,
the paper.
the one in the newspaper.
Yeah.
That was right at the beginning of Saint when that article came out, because I was volunteering at the shelter, like I say, for a couple years before I became Saint, and it was not a good sign, a good sight to see in the newspaper on the front page, but it showed a pit bull being euthanized because they wanted to make impact in our community of dogs having to be put down because of shelters being overcrowded, or let's say a dog that has bite issues. And the bite issue isn't always because of a serious bite. We've taken and rescued animals that were considered a bite dog and placed them in a special needs home, because when dogs are approached, let's say, by their food dish, or a little child is hitting them in the head or whatever it may do. That's why we're
Right.
careful about home checks when we place a dog, even if it's in a home with children or another dog, because a dog can lash out and bite if it's scared, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a threat to you.
Right.
So, to save this dog that was considered a bite, I don't know what the issue was, why they used that particular dog as the newspaper article, but it really did get some bad flack back from outsiders from our community, because they didn't like the idea of showing a dog being euthanized right there in
right.
public.
The reality.
The
of what
reality,
these dogs were facing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what we're trying to prevent.
Yeah. We have another picture. You got
Kane. Okay, so Kane. Oh gosh, Kane is affectionately known as the Dam Dog, because he was rescued from the grates of Davis Dam by the dam
That is
workers.
crazy.
Yeah, so they rescued him. He was emaciated, dehydrated,
Oh,
injured. And so we took him in. He had emergency care. While he was in the convalescent foster home, he escaped. And so there's been a mad tracking of him this week. He was spotted on game cams, and we put out a feeding station for him. And I'm happy to say he was just trapped, and he's in foster, and I believe he's going to surgery today.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah,
with him?
on Kane, it's his tail, I believe. Yeah, the tail has to have part of it removed, and that's pretty detailed surgery as well. It's going to run, Donna, who is our president, estimated anywhere from $2,400 to $3,100 just to remove part of that tail that was injured so badly, because it's not going to heal. It
It's
just
not
has
gonna
to
So
be
do you
removed.
guys find yourselves in the deserts a lot of times, or what happens when a dog, like how do you get notified, and to what lengths do you guys go to?
We get a lot of messages on our Facebook, I think, is our main source for that. Dog found, dog seen, or people just saying, hey, I found a dog, he's in my house, but I can't keep him.
Yeah.
We also have our website, bhcsaint.org. We get a lot of messages on there.
As well. My goodness.
Sue and I, Sue had found a dog that was living under a house. Remember Ray? Ray was living under a house, and for about a year.
Yes. Well, the people had actually moved out, and the next door neighbor informed me of who the owners were, because now they were starting to work on the house and get it back into shape when the owner was moving out. Well, I happened to catch the owner there one day while she was moving some more of her stuff out. And I said, oh, I like your dog. And she goes, well, he's not going with me. And his name was Ray. So I said, well, don't you have a family member or somebody that can take him? No. And I said, well, my mail lady is the one that told me about Ray, that he was here quite often alone. And she said, well, we make sure he has food. So I would go back after getting to know the next door neighbor and they let me store my food in their house. And Barbara even came and did a little video at one time. We were going to put that out to the public, but it never happened. But I went for 3 months, morning and night, twice a day, to make sure he was fed, clean water. He would live under the crawl space of this house, which was just horrible.
He wouldn't come out.
And it was the hot weather was coming, and so I would go down and power wash where he lived, because there was a huge tree and it had a lot of pigeon droppings. So I would power shoot this place, with the neighbor's hose, because they didn't even have a water hookup for him. And I'd carry water over for him and took care of him, and he went into a great home.
Yeah.
We found him a
Is that
wonderful.
maybe? Do you send us a picture of Ray?
I think
right?
I did.
Yeah.
One
Sue
more
with Ray.
Jeff.
Yeah, Ray. He was one of my buddies.
Nope.
No.
That's the game cam with
No, that's
Kane.
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 The
Yeah.
next
Okay.
one, Jeff.
It's got Sue
With
in
Sue
it.
in it.
Yeah, this is at North Valley.
Look at King. He just wants to show
Yeah,
up today.
he went.
So cute.
Well, actually, we didn't know if Ray was a bite dog. So, like I
There
say,
we go.
I wasn't sure. He wouldn't warm up to me until I took him a hot dog one day, and then I chopped it up and I held it in my hand, and he came pretty close to me. And this was after like 2 months.
Oh, wow.
And I put a big note on the tree to neighbors: "Don't feed this dog. I'm taking care of him." And so finally, I tracked down the owner. And I won't say who it is, but he worked in our community as a pharmacist. And I said, I don't like the food you're giving him, so I'll bring him my own food. And and I'll take care of him, and I'll make sure I find him a home. And he did. He went to a home that looked like it came out of Beverly Hills. Not that we care about you having a gorgeous home, or even if you live in a mobile like myself. We just want to know that it's a safe home, a safe environment, and a good home where they know they can afford to take care of an animal.
Yeah.
Right.
How does that work as far as fostering? How would someone?
You go on our website and fill out an application. And then we'd come and do a home check,
Home checks.
and just to make sure the home is safe and the dog can't escape.
And we pay for the all the medical in our foster's home and the food.
Yep.
So all you have to do is provide a safe place,
a loving home.
a loving home.
And we have little Leo, the little 12-week-old puppy that was found. I think that's the last picture we gave to you, Jeff. And so he's going to need, there he is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's going to need a foster or a forever home. Now, he was badly injured, and nobody was claiming him, and we just had to get his rear leg amputated. And that, again, is another surgery that's going to be maybe close to $3,500
Right.
that'll come out of our funds. And our funds are filled through donations from people, like
Yeah.
you guys.
Do you guys usually do events throughout the year to
Yes.
raise money? How does someone participate, or how do we kind of watch and find out about those?
Well, you can check us out again on our either Facebook page, or you can go to www.bhcsaint.org and see what's coming up as far as fundraisers. Barbara and I are kind of working on an idea called Whiskey, Whiskers, and Wine.
Yes.
Oh, I
And
like
so,
that.
yeah.
You're in 3W.
You're invited.
And so tell them, Barbara, about this idea.
Well, we like to vacation in the Virgin Islands. So me and my husband, Steve DeMarco.
Lucky.
All right. Steve, we knew we liked
yeah, the mayor.
And our Verbo hostess is director of the animal rescue on the island there.
Oh, get
so
out.
her and I were like this.
you. Yeah.
So you know how a lot of our rescues are pit bull mixes. On the island, they're corgi mixes. So
Really?
isn't that very strange?
Yeah.
So, they have their so she said, well, they're getting ready for an event called Whiskey, Whiskers, and Wine. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to steal that.
Genius.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a swanky venue to have this. And we have some ideas. So
Yeah.
it's in the
Good.
works.
Yes, because we are planning a bowling event, hopefully I'm shooting for August. And we usually set up like a competition. Like the last one we had was between the fire department and the police department. They're very competitive. And I think the
So
fire
fun.
department won that year. But anyway, one year I even had the city against the county. And, I remember Steve was very competitive, too, as a bowler. We hope to get him there this year again,
Oh,
of
he'll be
course.
there.
He loves to bowl. And then Hildy Angus, of course, represented the county.
Oh,
So,
God, and she's very
yeah.
competitive.
Yeah,
We know
she
this.
is very. I'm her pet sitter. I know how competitive she is, and we love Hildy as well as Steve. And so, who do you root for? Yeah, but anyway, we'll get.
That's
We
funny.
thought about getting a couple
Yeah.
of the dealerships this year. Maybe
Listen,
Finley.
we're pretty
against,
competitive.
they're pretty competitive. Maybe we can get Swannies to get a team together and. Well, that's what I'm going to be working on is getting two teams against each other because that always draws the crowd in. You
Yeah.
want a good crowd, and we usually rake in a pretty good amount of money on that bowling event. Have a lot of good raffle items and 50-50, and everybody's out there to have fun. We don't care if you can bowl or not.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll give you the kitty bumpers if you need them.
Right.
The cuter shoes,
Yeah.
maybe.
So we're looking for more venues, like I say, to do Yappy Hour again. We want to bring that back. People used to love coming to our Yappy Hours instead of Happy Hour, Yappy Hour.
And you bring the dogs?
It depends on the location. Like we have had animals up at the Vista del Sol in the past because they have an outdoor patio. A lot of places that serve food won't let you bring animals in, of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
So our Yappy Hours took place at the Black Mountain Bistro for a good many years.
I love them.
At least 10 years when it was Lisa's Bistro.
Yeah.
And so I'll be researching some places, some venues to be bringing back Yappy Hour.
Good.
Right.
You guys, ironically, also work kind of hand in hand with Sean
Yes.
from the veterans. Can we talk a little bit about him? And we actually
Yes.
have,
I'll let you do
when we
that.
came out to see you for the spotlight, there
Right.
was a dog being handled and helped.
That was Bella, the German Shepherd. This dog is gorgeous. A year-old female. She's going to be a great protector for some family. She was dropped off to be euthanized by her owner because she snapped at one of the cats or something, or I'm not sure. But so Saint was called, and then we called Sean of the Arizona Veterans Canine Services. And so he has Bella now. He's training her and getting her ready for her forever home as well.
Right.
Sean
She's
is wonderful.
beautiful.
I love it. It's kind of interesting as we start to, have all of you amazing people on the show, how everyone is really intertwined in this big purpose of saving animals and,
Yes.
and
Right,
helping
yeah.
people and, really finding what these animals are good at and not just throwing them away because they're not perfect.
Right.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, you would believe some of the stories we get where the owner brings the dog to be euthanized because it's a bite dog, and then you go see it's like a tiny little terrier chihuahua, and it's like, oh, it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's like, my chihuahua will snap at me sometimes. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
should
Yeah.
be euthanized.
They get
so.
them because they're cute when they're babies and they get a little bigger and don't want to deal with them, maybe.
And a lot of times it's bad training by
Yeah.
the people who have them. So.
Yeah. It's just like a kid, right?
It's
if
like
you
a
don't
kid.
potty
Yeah.
train it, it's not going. They don't potty train themselves.
Exactly.
If they're misbehaving and you don't, make them behave, then
Right.
they're going to continue to misbehave.
That's right. And they can always be retrained. So don't give up on them. We'll help you if you need help with training. If you've reached your limit with your dog and maybe you love it or you loved it in the beginning, give us a call. We'll put you on the right path to save that dog and keep him as a member of your family.
Right.
So again, we go back to the spade and neutering being so important because there's so many animals that are not taken care of or that left on the streets due to the fact that people are just not taking the time to spade
Right.
and neuter and stop babies
Well,
from being born.
The spay and neuter, the important part about spay and neuter on a female is mammary tumors. They will acquire those normally if they're not fixed, and it can take them to the vet and be very expensive if they have to be removed, like we did with the dog Hope. Hope had her own Facebook page. She was left tied to a couch in a fifth wheel for years, chained up on a very short chain.
8 years,
living,
right?
Yeah,
8 years.
living in her own
Inside,
feces.
never outside.
Yeah, never outside. It was horrible. I mean, she had everything wrong with her by the time Donna Doyle showed up there to, thank goodness, take part in the rescue. She had to be surrendered to the shelter that first day because it was towards evening, and then we picked her up immediately the next morning. But she turned into a very costly dog, which is she's in a great home now, but had to have all of her breasts removed. Once they opened her up to spay her, she had been overspayed. You could tell overbred, and excuse me.
That's okay.
Well, and
Yeah,
one of the
overbred.
sad parts of this story is that people had seen her but no one called to
Somebody
help her.
was throwing food and water in there for her.
Well, the lady that owned this property, and she had a quite large home, let this woman park, on her fifth wheel on her property and keep the dog. But then she had her leave. She had, I don't know, booted her out or whatever, and then the dog was left alone. So she said she would throw food in there to her, which it was a horrible sight. We have pictures of all of that. You can look at them on our Facebook page. I think they're still there, about Hope.
Yeah, we should have a warning on those pictures. Too,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
be ready.
Because
If someone
I think,
feels like a dog is in need,
Call us, please.
yeah, right. Don't
Yeah.
wait. Don't stop. You're
Right.
not going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
No.
But we need to get to those
like
animals.
Right.
like the lady that waited 4 weeks with the dog that we just helped with another amputation. This dog's name is Scooter, and the lady didn't have the money because she'd already invested almost $3,000, is what she told Donna, in a veterinarian in our community that misdiagnosed her. So now, or him, Scooter's a boy. So then the back leg had to be amputated just a couple days ago at Low Cost Clinic. And that ran into quite a large amount of money, probably a couple thousand.
We've
And-
done, I think, 4 amputations just this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find that a lot of people do hold off or are scared because
They
of the
don't.
financial burden? I
Yep.
mean, it's hard,
Yes.
right?
But the dog was in so much pain, it was actually screaming. And
Oh.
Donna actually drove this dog and the owner at 11:30 Sunday night into Las Vegas to a specialty vet. And he gave the dog morphine to, relieve its pain and fluids, but then couldn't do the amputation, of course, that night. So then it was set up for Low Cost Clinic. And then it had its surgery already, so I hope it's doing okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would like to do a shout out for Low Cost because they really help us a
Yeah,
lot, and
yeah.
and they're reasonable, and they're very, very good service out there and quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
But all this costs money, folks, and you can come to our events and have a good time and participate. But you can also go to our Facebook page, bhcsaint.org, click the donate button, and donate that way. You can call our president, Donna. You can write her a check. But our funds are dwindling. There's a lot of need right now. And unfortunately, a lot of people are facing financial burdens right now. So, but don't let your pet suffer. We'll find a way to help you. So just give us a call.
And if you want to call us, you can reach us at 928-985-0663.
wow. Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
I know.
We actually went out and did a community spotlight on these ladies, so you guys will be seeing that on Monday. But immediately when I had an opening today for the show, I was like, can you guys come out to the show? There's just so much that people need to know.
Yeah.
And I think for me, one of the important things is for people to know that there's help out there. So if you have a situation, do not don't throw your dog off the bridge. Don't,
No.
make the phone call, ask for help.
And remember, don't shop, adopt.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're saddled with some puppies, just call us. We've rescued puppies that have been horribly abused. People I don't know if they're trying to get rid of them, but we've saved. We just had the 4 puppies that were stomped on that we
Oh.
helped, and that was more medical. So. If you see puppies, if your dog has puppies and you don't want them, just give us a call. We'll figure it out. And
And we need more fosters for that reason, then we can save more lives.
Yeah, if you want to
Step up
foster-
to the plate.
So if you foster, it could be short term, it could be long term. It's kind
Short-term,
of based
long-term.
on what you were able to do, I would
exactly,
assume.
yes. And like Sue said, we pay for all the food, we pay for all the medical. We'll come and pick the dog, take it to the medical, and so yeah.
Yeah.
We need fosters. We need forever homes.
That's right.
We need donations.
Please help.
Yeah, right.
I mean, your guys aren't going to stop doing your good work, which is amazing.
No.
It seems like you guys always find a way. You've been doing this a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I applaud you guys.
Thank you.
Just amazing. I mean, the few stories that we heard today, I can only imagine you have tons of them.
Oh, lots. I
Yeah.
still have pictures of practically all the dogs that we used to board dogs at one time when we first took them in, and it was very costly. So that's why we've stopped doing boarding when we rescue normally, unless it's a medical issue. We can't afford the boarding costs, so that's why we need fosters.
Well, if you guys are looking to become a foster or want to donate, volunteer time, there's so many different ways to help.
Yes.
And don't forget, if you're in need of help, please reach out to the phone numbers, the websites, the Facebook page. I believe these ladies will be able, if they cannot help you, they will find somebody who can or figure out a plan.
Exactly.
So, most importantly, take care of your animals. If you see an animal in need, don't just close your eyes. It's just like a child.
Oh, I want to
Make the
mention
phone
one
call.
more thing now that we're getting into the 3 digits. I meant to mention the other day when I was at City Council, when it's 80 degrees out, your car can get up to 100 degrees in 10 minutes, even with the windows cracked. So don't take your dog shopping with you and leave it in the car. Leave it at home. And also, when it's hot out, test the ground with your hand or your bare foot. If it's too hot for you, it's too hot for their pads. Don't walk them in this hot heat. Go out in the early morning, even if you're not an early riser like myself, and take them out for that early walk or that late night walk.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a great point. Yes.
And I did come across some people who were selling puppies and they didn't know what spay and neuter was. They had never heard of it. So I just want to let everyone know spay and neuter is a procedure that we give your pets so they can't impregnate another animal or they can't get pregnant themselves. And one cat.
I was going to say the number.
So there's
It's
a
wild.
cat pyramid. One cat, unspayed cat, and her offspring in 8 years can produce over 2 million cats.
Wow.
And if you don't think some of those cats are in the shelter being euthanized, they are.
They are.
They are.
Or
Yeah.
And
abused
dogs
out on the
or out
street.
on
or
the
abused
street.
or becoming feral.
Yep.
And same with dogs too. So it is cute when your dog has puppies and you think they're all going to great homes, but you don't
Not
know.
necessarily.
And our shelters are full for a reason, and it's because unwanted dogs are born and cats are born every day.
Yeah.
And we can stop that.
We certainly can.
Just
Yeah.
as old Bob Barker would say, have your pets spay and neutered.
Again, you can reach out to Saints, and they have assistant programs for that as well.
We do.
So if you think, just the cost is too much to deal with, there's help for that as well.
Yeah. We'll help
thank you.
We'll help you.
Yes. Thank you guys for showing up today. I
Thank
truly
you
appreciate
for
it.
having us.
I feel like we've spent a little time together and we need to spend more together. So thank you for coming out to the show and
Our
thank you
pleasure.
for all that you do. Shop
Thank you.
local, support local, spade and neuter your animals and take care of the ones that you have. Thank you so much for showing up today and have a good day.
Thank you,
Thank
Barbara.
you.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right.